We have flown the Cessna 170 all the way from Venice, Florida to Perry, Houston in Georgia.
Fuel was much cheaper here in Perry, Houston. We got the crew car.
We got the Crown Vic.
To Asheville, North Carolina.
We're in Asheville.
Very, very, very welcoming town.
Stopping off in Kentucky for a little bit for a pancake breakfast.
The weather for tomorrow, they're not looking super great.
Then on over to Jacksonville, Illinois, leaving the snow behind there.
Not a whole heck of a lot going on here in Jacksonville, which makes it
the perfect airport to come into.
And now all the way to Fairmont, Nebraska to visit Jeff and Katie.
So we've made it to Fairmont, Nebraska, and Jeff has been kind enough, along with Katie, to put us up for the night, and his wife Amy.
Yeah.
So we had a place to crash. Super awesome little airport, lots
really
of history.
Cool, little town.
Really good Mexican food here that Jeff was kind enough to show us,
Yes.
and super nice people that were able to get us a hangar and get us a place to stay. So from here, the weather finally looks good. We'll be getting back in the air over to Greeley, Colorado today. And first, we got to take you guys around this airport and show you a little bit of the history. This place is basically an old World War II air base and pretty much untouched since World War II.
The airport here was actually built by the Army Air Force in 1942 during World War II as one of 11 training airfields in Nebraska. This was actually a satellite airport for Topeka Army Air Base in Kansas. To actually build this thing took over 1,000 people, and they even built another railroad line connecting Fairmont out to the build site so that they could actually get supplies out there faster. Of course, like many Army air bases, the military didn't have much of a use for it after the war, and so a lot of the old bomber hangars that are still standing are now used to store corn as dry storage, and you'll see tons of corn all over the place. There's lots of cornfields and lots of crop dusting going on at this airport, so it still serves a great purpose for the community here. After Steph took Katie for a quick flight, we were fueled up and ready to go.
All right, we got our fuel. We paid with a check. And now we are all fueled up, ready to go to
Greeley, Colorado.
woo!
Yep, so you'll go just right up there on your right, and I'll take you over my 17.
Okay. Stay right.
Clear right. Just watch for the potholes. Woohoo! Onward to Colorado! Actually, probably get some lunch first somewhere or another.
Yeah.
We
What
did
again?
minimal flight planning today, so we're gonna have to do some flight
I
planning.
mean, our typical flip.
Well, we're gonna do some flight planning in the air, I think. Want to do a nice little low altitude lap around here?
Oh, yeah.
Just hang a nice left turn around. Want to fly over some of the old hangars and stuff. Try to get in the wing cams on the tail cam. Wow, there's some wind for a turn about a point. Gotta steepen up that bank angle there.
Look at our shadow.
Airplane shadow. There's the old water tower, red, white, striped water tower. Pretty cool stuff, actually. Ooh, bumpy today.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, go fly right over top of the car.
Yeah.
Alright, so in terms of flight planning on the fly, literally flight planning on the fly, or flight planning while flying, haha. I'm so funny, I cracked myself up. We are gonna have to go ahead and first call up flight service, get a little briefing, and then after that, we're gonna start looking at the database for some airports with the crew car and calling some Unicom frequencies and seeing who can get us a crew car to run in town and get some lunch. I feel like Kearney Regional would be a good bet. That looks like a busier place. This is when it's super helpful to have two pilots in the airplane, one
Yeah.
that can flight plan on the fly and the other one can actually fly.
It had actually been several years since I had been to North Platte. Last time was by car, and actually if you're ever driving down I-80, it's a pretty cool little stop, a little rest stop area that you can pull off there and walk around some of the historical areas. I didn't realize this until I actually did get off at that rest stop, but how they determined where I-80 really lies is pretty much the old wagon trail that went from the East Coast to the West Coast via the Oregon Trail. There's even still some old historical rusty wagon wheels stuck in the dirt out there just off the side of the highway where the modern day highway lies and the old trail used to be just a few hundred feet away.
And November 62 Delta, I will let you know there's airmet icing in your present position, also airmet for icing eastern Colorado, also turbulence, low level wind shear towards Greeley. Further details on any of that on request. Pilot reports, of course, are requested. I don't have any temporary flight restrictions across the route or runway or airport closures at North Platte or at Greeley. And thank you very much. Have a great day.
Awesome, and currently in a present position, it's visibility unrestricted and ceiling's clear. So how many hours have we put in so far? We were at 40, we took off at 38. So we're coming up on, we'll hit 20 hours today on the Hobbs, I think.
I don't know, 20 hours into it. Just doesn't feel like we've flown for 20 hours.
Feels like it to me. And what day is this, 5? We stayed in Nashville, we stayed in Kentucky, we stayed in Illinois, we stayed in Nebraska, and now we're going to be in Colorado, day 5.
Day 5.
Wow, we've already lost track of the days. North Platte traffic, runway 170, left base runway 17, North Platte.
Oh, the baby cows.
Deal. Finals clear. There's some sync.
Do you want your prop in?
Yeah, I was reading something, couldn't quite remember what. I was like, mixture, nah, that's fine where it is.
Nice.
I'll take that. Even if it was way before I thought it was going to touch. North Platte traffic, right around 170, back taxiing runway 17 to the restaurant, North Platte.
I wonder if he's trying to park you at that T, but
Yeah. I'm trying to line up on.
So we've made it to,
North Platte, Nebraska.
yeah, not a whole heck of a lot going on here, besides some really friendly people at the FBO. Cool little diner that we had dinner, or lunch at, rather.
Fresh baked cookies at the FBO.
Ooh, yes, fresh baked cookies at the FBO. That's
That
a
was
must, yeah.
great.
Put North Platte on your list. The diner here, pretty good, in the little terminal where, I don't know, SkyWest probably comes in here or something like that. Nice little stop. It's windy. It's like gusting 20-something, so we're trying to hide out of the wind so you guys don't listen to, static. But now it's time to hop back in the airplane and continue onward to Greeley, Colorado.
Colorado. We're crossing borders.
Oh yeah, and we've already prearranged to get a crew car for our Airbnb, so we should probably go.
So, if we're reaching back there and shoving papers around, we should
What?
confirm it. Is it good?
I'm not shoving anything. Go ahead.
Alright, feels like there's on both. Let's roll.
North Platte traffic, Airport 3 is crossing runway 1735, Charlie to Bravo, North Platte.
North Platte traffic, right runway 170, up one runway 17, will be departing the area. West-southwest bound. Alright, I gotta lose my jacket. Your controls.
I knew this was gonna happen.
What? Kind of like the overcast. Hopefully it'll make a little smoother ride and give us a little break from skin cancer.
After lifting off out of North Platte, it was time to head on over to Greeley, about a 185-mile flight over some pretty flat and uneventful terrain, but still pretty beautiful in its own way. As you can assume, most cities in the US come to be because they lie somewhere near water, and North Platte is no exception. In fact, the entire Oregon Trail through this area followed the Platte River, going across Nebraska because, well, it's a pretty flat, easy area to traverse, plus it gave a steady supply of fresh water for the livestock to drink and the people. Back then, people kept on trekking towards Oregon because, well, it wasn't very plowable or fertile land back then until modern irrigation, fertilizer, and all those techniques came about. The city of North Platte really came to be because, well, it's the junction of the North Platte and South Platte River, and that confluence is constantly mentioned if you ever read any old books from people who were headed westbound from the East Coast to settle in the West. Something that's mentioned very frequently in immigrant diaries. Although it's a little bit hard to see in the GoPro camera footage here, there is actually several landmarks down there like Ash Hollow, Courthouse Rock, Jailhouse Rock, Chimney Rock, all these different features that actually confirm that the immigrants were on the correct trail and the correct path headed west. And all that stuff still exists today. In fact, I don't know that it looks drastically different aside from the massive interstate of I-80 running through there than it did just a few hundred years ago. The other crazy thing to think about is a lot of that migration was less than 200 years ago. It was really in the mid-1800s when people started heading west, spending months and months along this trail, a lot of them not being able to make it past the Rockies and past the Sierras to get all the way to the Pacific coast. A trip that was made quite easier once railroads came about, but could still be several weeks, and then cut shorter into several days traveling by car over the interstate into the 1950s, and now just about 4.5, 5 hours on JetBlue or Delta cruising from New York to California. If you ever do find yourself in this area stuck on I-80 in one of those wonderful snowstorms in late spring, just think back to, well, what it must have been like about 150 years ago when there was no Starbucks 2 miles off the exit.
I see mountains.
Yes, there are mountains, finally.
Finally.
And 5 days of flying before we saw mountains.
I know, it's crazy.
Traffic mark 7 Whiskey's on the 47 mainstream west downwind runway 10 grooming.
Ooh, did someone say whiskey?
That's all it takes to get Steph excited.
You already promised you're gonna get a bottle of wine for tonight.
I was gonna get a bottle of wine. Go get some water when we land, see ya. But in the meantime, back in the cage for you.
Whiskey, turn it downwind runway 10 Greeley.
She's like running for mom. She's like, no, don't put me back in there. Come on. Ooh, and there's the smell.
There's the smell.
Oh man, there's gotta be a couple thousand head cattle down there. Oh.
That's gross.
Yeah.
That'll be distracting for landing. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Hope that whole town doesn't smell like that.
Greeley traffic, Arthur 5 Alpha Whiskey turning left crosswind runway 10, touch and go Greeley.
Greeley traffic, red and white 170 turning base 10 Greeley.
The final looks clear.
White 170 turning left final 10 Greeley. Ball.
Greeley traffic, Archer 5 Alpha Whiskey turning left downwind runway 10, touch and go Greeley.
I'm just trying to fit in.
Yeah.
We are at a high density altitude.
Trying to like land the airplane based on like ground speed rather than like.
I don't know. I'm just very distracted by the smell. Alright.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
And we've made it to Greeley, Colorado. Look at these fancy tie-down things they have here. Like, look at that. It's so nifty. It's like retracting tie-down straps for the airplane. Aren't you excited about that? Are you as excited about that as I am right now. And these little tie-down straps, wow, they work out perfect. That is awesome. I guess they're supposed to latch like that. Really hard to do when you're still holding a vlog camera that's big and heavy. Now, Sia's super happy to be on the ground. She's ready for a little drink of water. But I think it's about time for us to go to the Airbnb and explore a bit. And got the keys to the crew car. Now we're heading over to the Airbnb. Bit of a bummer, we had already ordered an Uber because they told us the crew car was broken, but by broken they meant the crew car was being used by somebody else and it came back a few minutes later. So now we get to keep it overnight, which is awesome because we have transportation while we're in town. It's like the only FBO here. It's like peak aviation or peak flying services, something like that. But where are we going for dinner tonight?
I don't know, but I am tired and hungry.
AKA hangry. So we explored Greeley a little bit, got a nice little sushi dinner at Daruma. What did you think of Greeley?
No, it was cool. It's a little college town, and then we went to the grocery store, and the crew car was very handy.
Yeah. No, the crew car came in major handy. Unfortunately, yeah, I had already ordered an Uber because they told me the crew car was broken, and so that cost like $10 to cancel the Uber. But either way, we have the crew car, which was super helpful to run around, do all our errands. Totals for the trip, we are up to 20 hours on the airplane, about 1,300 flying miles, because we don't fly in a straight line at all. Yeah, total cost, I have no idea. It's in a spreadsheet. I'll add it up and when I edit this video, I'll put it over here on the side somewhere next to Steph's face, right there. But yeah. It's starting to get expensive. I don't think we've crossed the $1,000 mark yet. It is the end of day 5, so I don't know. We're probably getting close to the $1,000 mark on this trip.
Well, part of it was because some really nice viewers put us up.
That was majorly helpful to help keep down the hotel costs. So yeah, tomorrow, kind of a short day, 200 so miles, about 220, 240 nautical miles, up to the Mount Rushmore area, which is South Dakota, which is Rapid City is our next stop, about 240 miles. We will take you guys on that journey tomorrow. Weather's looking like it's going to cooperate now, but we know how well those weather forecasts work out, so we'll see what happens when we wake up, how things actually pan out. All right, guys, we have a very big announcement to make. The newest face to be on Mount Rushmore is Sia. What do you think of that, Sia?
What do you think?
You're going to be the newest face on Mount Rushmore. What do you think of that? You don't care. Sia, what did you get into? Look at her.
Gross.
We leave you alone for 2 minutes. You can't even pre-flight without you getting into snow and mud.
She just got a bath, too.
I know, it's so sad.
Gross.
Well, where are we going today, Sia? Sia, tell me where we're going.
Sia, come here.
Where are we going?
Good girl.
We're going in the airplane, right? Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. So great to see you all here.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, totally. We are about to load up now and go to Rapid City, South Dakota from Greeley, Colorado. Greeley, nice little town, has a little bit of a
smell.
Yeah, that. And Sia keeps getting into mud and messes, so I think it's about that time we should load up and we're gonna go check out Mount Rushmore.
The hell, Sia? What'd you get into? So gross.
What did you do? What did you do? Nothing? You don't care? Yeah? What do you have to say for yourself, Sia? Can you say anything? Nothing? You just don't care. We're gonna put you in your crate.
She's so excited.
She's excited. She likes getting in it, and then she tries to scratch her way out as soon as we take off. As soon as we're airborne, she's like, I don't like this anymore, it's loud.
Good girl. Bye-bye.
And bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Sia.
You ready?
Ready to go.
So Steph, Sia, and I loaded up in the 170, departing from Greeley, leaving the lovely smell of the dairy farms behind.
Not sure if I want a steak dinner after all.
Yeah, it makes you really not want to eat meat for a little bit, or eat beef anyways.
Running out of things to feed you there.
Well,
And heading over to Pine Bluffs to grab some cheap gas before starting off on what would be about a 2-hour flight northbound to Rapid City to go fly by Mount Rushmore. Luckily enough, we had some good winds out of the south, although the weather up ahead was a bit questionable with the cloud layers. So with some time to kill and not much going on in the airplane, it was time to call up flight service and get an updated briefing and see what the weather up ahead would hold for us to decide if we wanted to go under it or above it.
It is kind of cool to see what all these places look like.
yeah, when you're looking at the map and now you actually understand what parts of the country look like.
Yeah. Pine Bluffs traffic, runway 170 on the roll, runway 8 northbound, Pine Bluffs.
Aren't you glad you back taxied?
We still didn't need to. Could have stayed
Yeah.
on ground effect.
There wasn't that much ground before the fence to stay in ground effect.
So glad I brought you along.
Yeah.
So you're thinking we should try to get above the cloud layer?
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to turn solid or be clear up ahead, but I think it's worth going above it, you know, and taking a look. We'll have a better idea once we get above it, and then we can always come right back down. I just think getting some altitude here isn't going to hurt anything. We'll get more tailwind and we'll further away from this ground. Not a lot of extra energy left in the airplane up here.
Yeah, I just climbing for no reason is kind of a waste of fuel unless. You know.
Yeah, no, I think it'd be a good idea to go up and get more of a tailwind. At least we know the cloud layer is thin. We have to go back through it.
Yeah.
And it was above freezing. Still above freezing outside. It's 43 Fahrenheit right now. At 8,000. How come you don't push that knob all the way full?
It is. Being almost.
I definitely think it's worth going up high here. Get a great tailwind.
Okay.
Smooth. Want to try 9,500?
Okay.
Number 2962 Delta, for your present position, looking at Kimball altimeters 2983. Since you'll be flying with probably the Emirates are going to also be transitioning. So you start off there in western Nebraska, moderate turbulence is possible below 16,000. And then up to the north, South Dakota, moderate ice is possible between the freezing level and flight level 220. Freezing levels range between 5 and 10,000. 190 to about a 200.
I like this guy.
And the forecast calls for speed 25 to 30, 25 to 30, light tailwind. And lastly, again, as we've mentioned, there's no TFRs. NOTAMs at Rapid City, I don't have any runway closures. Was there anything I missed weather-wise y'all want to look at?
No, that sounds great. I really appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
And November 2962 Delta, you're welcome. Sir, again, pilot reports request. You have a great day. We'll see you.
Good day. Awesome. That was my favorite briefer we've had on this trip. Yeah. Even like compare all the guys on the telephone, all the guys on the radio we talked to. Totally favorite guy. So
It was almost as cool as the guy in Florida that was like, ooh, Taildragger.
that was approach control, yeah. I was like, yeah, we don't get too many of those down here, do you? And he's like, no, not a lot of Taildraggers in Miami. But yeah, so I don't know if you guys have caught on to it yet, but basically we do our weather briefings. We search weather on our own on the laptop, you know, when we're at a hotel, Airbnb, wherever. We talk to a briefer usually the night before or at least the morning of. Definitely the morning of, get any sort of TFRs, NOTAMs, updated weather. Things change constantly. And the weather's always changing, the forecasts are always changing. It seems kind of like pointless even to ask anymore. But then we always get in the airplane and get another weather briefing. Sometimes just TFRs and NOTAMs if it's like clear and a million across the entire route and weather doesn't matter to us. Just they give me TFRs and NOTAMs, let's CYA a little bit here and make sure we're not going to bust or anything we're not supposed to be. But today with the weather constantly changing, got a little updated forecast. Sounds good. Basically stay out of the clouds because gonna get some ice.
Icing.
And not the fun kind on your cake. The muffin is going to be bad kind. And then, yeah, a little gusty, but nice tailwind. Look at this, we're showing 90 knots indicated, 90 miles an hour indicated airspeed, and 137 miles per hour over the ground right now. if is little Delta kind of run out of steam here at 9,500? Can we even go any higher?
Oh, we can. We can go to 11.5.
With this much weight, you think it would go up? We're climbing at like 100 feet a minute.
It'll be slow, but it'll
We'll
go.
get there with the next updraft. But yeah, either way, that's kind of what we're doing. So put our little notepad, note card over here for now. I love these little sticky notes. You can get these little sticky notes whenever you see us at fly-ins or flymygelb.com. They're like $1 or $2 on the website. But if you ever see us at a fly-in, you can always stop us and grab some. They usually stick a lot better than that one. I don't know what is up with that. But I guess the airplane's very greasy and dirty right now.
Sure, blame the airplane.
It sticks there just fine. It doesn't stick to the dirty, dusty panel. But yeah, so onward to Mount Rushmore.
Whenever I fly over just remote places out in the middle of the country or out west, I can't help to think about the explorers that first started coming out this way. And it must have been crazy just being out on a horse carriage or just walking.
And just keep it going and going and going and going.
Crazy. Especially there at the Grand Canyon when all of a sudden it was like, and there's a canyon.
Oh, crap.
That just added a month to our trip. To go
Or
around.
more, yeah. I wonder how many pieces of land out here have never been like walked on by people.
So freaky to see the mixture dial all the way out like that.
Yeah, it's not often we see 5 hours to empty. 30.8 gallons an hour fuel burn. Usually we're seeing like, 11 gallons an hour fuel burn.
Yeah.
Hot Springs traffic, red and white 170 over the field, 5,500 descending Hot Springs. And try to circle around that, then roll out onto a kind of maneuver to roll out to the left
Good
downwind.
afternoon. This is Hot Springs Municipal Airport.
Love that.
Automated advisory. Wind 150 at 14. Peak 22. Altimeter 2974. Density altitude 4,400. For runway, pilot's discretion.
That's funny.
That's
For
awesome.
further services, click your mic 3 times for an advisory, 4 times for radio check.
Guess I should check the what should we call it?
Yeah, so you'll have a quartering
Yeah.
crosswind there.
I guess I should have checked the chart supplement. I forgot that some of these airports up north here have that stuff.
That's pretty cool.
Hot Springs traffic, runway 170, final runway 19, Hot Springs. Oh, it's going to be interesting going over this threshold with that big bump there. Right before the runway.
Yeah.
Going to try to land, at least on the aiming points or beyond. Hopefully it'll calm down and not be so bumpy. There's some sink. There's some cow poop. Smell it?
Yep.
And there we are. Not the nicest landing.
It's challenging with gusty winds.
Ugh. Ugly.
Yeah.
Look like some really nice hangars here. I'm pull up to the left here.
Potty, potty, potta.
Should be good enough to park here.
Yeah. Tie-down chains. Oh, how nice. They got it going on.
Yeah. Haven't you ever seen the Wyoming windsock chain? Or weather chain?
After flying along for just about another hour, we decided it'd be a good idea to make a little pit stop, get out, stretch our legs, and let Sia run around for a bit. So we decided to pop into Hot Springs Municipal, which has a pretty fun little feature there to get the weather. Just 3 clicks, and the automated Unicom will start talking to you. In addition to the automated weather there, it's kind of funny, the RCO to get a hold of Denver Center is on 121.72, and what's funny is if you click it 4 times, that'll give you Denver Center, but if you click it 6 times, it'll actually put you over to flight service. So one of the first times I ever encountered an RCO that just by clicking the mic more or less times would actually change the function of the RCO. So pretty interesting features there at Hot Springs, but works great, and it's an awesome little airport to pop into if you do plan to fly around Mount Rushmore.
Runway 170, entering runway 19. Departure northbound.
All's clear.
Come on,
Woohoo.
buddy, come on. Still crosswind.
In case you're wondering, still crosswind.
After departing Hot Springs, it was onward to the main event. And do pay attention, there is a specific CTAF when you are flying around Mount Rushmore to talk to the other airplanes, because obviously a lot of people want to fly by Mount Rushmore and see it from the air. It is epic to see from the air, so would highly recommend it if you're in the area swinging by there.
Well, this weather turned out to be a whole lot better than forecast.
Yeah.
I mean, for now anyways, fingers crossed. You can definitely see it's a little iffy towards the west, but
I'm not gonna climb too high.
no, probably like 65 should be plenty. They say 77 actually when you get there. So, I mean, we could always go up higher and then come back down.
Who's they?
Oh, the state of South Dakota had that little thing that said maintain 7,700 feet MSL and contact such and such approach.
A suggestion?
Yeah, more of the suggestion. I guess it is fairly high up there though. I mean, when you look at that elevation,
Yeah.
that one's 7,200, so I think if we go up to, north of 7,000 would be good. Guess we are gonna get rocked. It'd be like Bryce Canyon all over.
Yeah.
A tiny little bird would be way up here. See it go by?
I did. I was wondering what that airport looked like. Very interesting.
Where? Oh, that?
Did yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Just so doesn't even look paved, but unless it's paved with like concrete or loose gravel.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we could have stayed in any of these other areas, not all the way to Rapid City.
Well, I just assumed, city. Like for housing.
Yeah. Yay, some mountains!
Yay. Quite the tailwind still.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
30 miles an hour. I guess I'll have to watch that speed when we get over these hills.
Yeah.
We can get rocked really good.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah. How do you want to approach it?
The mountain?
Yep.
I was gonna go around, like,
Okay, yeah.
this way.
Kind of come around the hook side.
Custer State Park, traffic, runway 170, transitioning the area 7,200 northbound. Custer. I always thought it was kind of a stupid monument, but I'm still excited to see it.
Yeah. I think it'll be, I'm assuming it's going to be slightly underwhelming, honestly.
Yeah. It's one of those bucket list things,
Oh, for sure, yeah. We came this far.
Yeah.
Gotta do it. Plus, I'm sure, it's cool. It's just, probably from the air, it's going to look a little tiny.
Which way does it face, do you know?
Not really. I didn't do that much research on it. Which way are the heads looking now?
Where are the faces facing?
How on earth did they choose this area to do it? Like,
That's what I was wondering as well.
how can we get more people to come to this little town in the middle of nowhere? I don't know. Scratch some guys' faces on the side of this hill over here.
Yeah, I wonder how much it cost.
Well, like the guy said, lots of history in all these hills. Crazy Horse and all those guys. And
All those peeps.
I'm sure they mentioned in history class which way those guys look. Maybe to the west? Like they're looking for like outward expansion westward. Really wish I would have paid more attention in 4th grade history class.
Hey, what direction are the faces facing?
Yeah, exactly.
Leave it in the comments below.
Can we take a vote to move all the national monuments into like one state so it's a lot easier to see? We can stop traveling so far.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to bank on that whole they're looking west towards like expanding the whole manifest destiny of the United States.
Partly because we're not seeing them yet.
Pretty much.
So that must be the welcome center.
I'll just be
Oh.
careful.
I see it.
You see it?
Yep.
You see faces?
I see the faces.
Where?
Right there, babe.
Oh, they're oh wow, that is so underwhelming.
Like rocks.
Yeah, those are so tiny. They couldn't have scraped some bigger faces in there. I knew it was like, it is a really cool thing, but I knew it was going to be so underwhelming from the air because everything looks so much tinier.
Okay, it's gonna be out your window here.
Yeah, bring it around on our right side, then double back around and put it on the left so we get in the cameras.
All right.
Ball. Oh, that's what it is.
Okay, I'm gonna need access to the trim, please.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. We come around for another pass. Okay, cool, all good. We can climb out of here and head on towards the airport.
And after a few laps around Mount Rushmore, looking at those four faces with the one missing face of Sia that'll, I'm sure, soon to be on Mount Rushmore, then we went ahead and headed over to Rapid City for the night to enjoy the nice windy conditions there.
Rapid City, Tower, Cessna, 2962 Delta, 10 miles west, 5,500 inbound with information.
2963 Delta, Rapid City Tower, roger, proceed inbound to runway 14.
Proceed runway 1462 Delta. Oh, this will be very interesting.
Yeah. Just get a wind check when you're on downwind.
We're not doing downwind, we're doing base.
Oh, okay. Right base for
14.
yeah. So when you're in that general area, just ask for a wind check when you're right base for 14 or something. This weather is so totally not what they forecast, which is awesome. They had forecasted to be way, way worse.
Not as far as viz, but wind is worse than what they forecasted.
Yeah. Yep. The ceiling and vis is way better, and the wind's a little bit worse.
And tower wind check, please.
Wind 180 at 21, gust 29.
6 it up, thanks.
Just about right down the runway.
Times we did actually need to think about chocking the airplane so it would not roll away when we were fueling it. The wind was really blowing there. And we did find a nice little tie down after fueling up that was fairly well protected by all the other hangars there. So a quick Uber ride over to the Airbnb, and we were in Rapid City for the night.
We're walking back from dinner. Steph just got a raindrop,
In my eyeball.
and I'm getting raindrops on the ground. We're still a half mile from the house, and I think this could go very bad. Okay, we made it home. That was a really, really good dinner. Sia, unfortunately, didn't get to enjoy any of it, but we did. Pretty good flying today, bumpy.
It was gusting 30, but the controller was like, ha ha ha, wind check, gusting 30 or 29. I'm like, thanks.
Yeah, but it was 29 literally right down the runway, which was so nice until she landed with this beautiful landing, and then it became a very noticeable right crosswind and the right wing picked up.
And we started flying again, just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Tomorrow, weather's looking extraordinarily questionable. We did get an offer from a Husky pilot on Instagram to go check out his little private grass strip near
Wyoming, Northeast Wyoming. Geneva? No.
Sure. So we're gonna head over that way, and it sounds like a pretty short strip for the 170 given the density altitude and how heavy it's loaded. Steph was really excited about it. I'm always more pessimistic about those things. Tomorrow on toward Wyoming and the Grand Tetons, and further west, as far west as we can go with the weather. So we will see you guys tomorrow. But before you go, you know, like, subscribe, do all those great things. Leave a comment. Yeah, tell us how cool Sia is, you know, and how great Steph's landing was today. Say nice things like that. If you have anything not nice to say, comment on somebody else's video. We'll see you guys in the next video. I was all excited to get a massage, and Steph scooted me out of the massage chair. She's taking over, and Sia's just like, yeah, this is our spot.
That's what happens when you meet somebody that's just as strong as you.